to answer that, Mr. Manager?
It,
Can you
it
answer
said
that?
whatever direction that the council desires. I mean,
Where would you suggest the $3,600 come from?
we can take it from general fund. All of the money's coming from general fund.
Well,
So-
come on, though. We have line items, so.
Sure.
We've
We
just
will
allocated
find it from the general fund.
We've just allocated $1.5 million dollars to District 3, and it should come from there. And I would be willing to take it from the District 3 funds. Why not? It's going
We
towards
have a motion
District
on the
3.
floor. We have a motion on the floor
Yes, we do,
that
Mayor.
was seconded by Councilwoman
Sterling.
Steril.
That's correct.
Mr. Clerk,
Councilman Bieneme,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys,
No.
Councilwoman Steril,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Galvin,
No.
Mayor Thundro.
no.
Item fails.
What do you mean?
She said no. Item fell 2-3. Bieneme's motion to reimburse $3,650 has failed.
We're not going to reimburse the money.
No, we need to find them. It's creating a precedent. Anybody from the city now, anybody, any resident who is pleased would go ahead and start planting things, and next thing you know, they think it's their own. We need to set an example. Mr.
Tab
Clerk,
F. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the selection of Lee Construction Group, Inc. in accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in the invitation for bid number 35-12-13, City Hall MEP replacement, which is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, to provide all labor, materials, tools, equipment, supervision, safety requirements, and related services necessary for City Hall building mechanical, electrical, and plumbing repairs, and further authorizing the city manager to execute a professional service agreement in substantially the attached form at a cost of $148,000 and a contingency amount not to exceed 10% of the cost, if required, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
public hearing is open on tab F. Public hearing is closed. Do I have a motion to approve tab F? We need to speak to the mic, Councilwoman, and your mic is off.
Second. I second the motion.
Discussion, Councilwoman Keys,
No discussion.
Vice Mayor Galvin,
No discussion.
Councilwoman Steril,
No, ma'am.
Councilman Bien-Aimé.
I second the motion.
Very good. Anyone wishes to record a no?
No.
I think we need an affirmative vote on these. So I need a yes or a no. So you want to do roll call?
You need to have what?
I need an affirmative vote. I need a yes or a no.
Well, if anybody wishes to record a no, it will
Don't
be a
make up your
no.
mind, guys. What do you
No
wanna
to
do
approve
with?
it. That's what it is. Okay. Anyone wishes to record a no?
No.
Okay.
That's four.
Yes.
The measure fails 1-0.
No, he passed.
It passes.
No, because you have to have some yays in there.
No,
This is
anybody wishes to record a no, you're the only one who said no, so everybody else agree with it. That's what
Yeah.
it means.
It doesn't, but okay, I'm not going to fight everybody tonight. I
Mr.
know, everybody's
Clerk.
want me to. It's all right.
Tab H, please.
Tab. You want me to do H before G, Mayor?
Oh, sorry. Gee,
Okay.
I keep on skipping them because I want to go home early, I guess.
Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute the fourth option to renew professional services agreement in substantially the attached form between the city of North Miami and Risk Management Associates, Inc., to continue to provide the city with police professional liability insurance coverage for one additional year at a cost not to exceed $178,733, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Public hearing is open on this one.
So,
Public hearing is closed. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second for discussion. I have a question.
Councilwoman Keys,
No discussion.
Vice Mayor Galvin,
Yeah, I have questions. All right, first let's start with a staff explanation, if I might, as to what this is asking us to do.
This is insurance to cover any police liability. As you know, the city
I thought we
is-
took H out of order. Is this G or H? I thought we took H out before G.
No, that's G.
Okay, my apologies. I'm looking at H. No, on G, I do not have any questions. My
Council,
apologies.
okay. Anybody wishes to record a no?
I have a question, Madam Mayor, if you allow me.
Go ahead.
Right? Those two items, did we send it out to bid or those are just renewal contract?
This item went out to bid. This is the last year. We would have put it out for bid, but because of the timing that it takes to get a response back, and this will make it effective. So I will say that the company rate did drop.
I asked only one question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All I
So what do
said
you-
is that a renewal question.
It's a
I mean, is it a
renewal.
renewal?
It's a renewal.
So is this it's last
This is the last year.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Anyone wishes to record a no?
I
What?
I vote in favor. I disagree. So I'm just gonna, this is my little silent thing I'm gonna do. I'm trying not to. I disagree with the all. You know, and I've been saying it since the previous mayor. So it's nothing new. I think we should just say aye or say nay and not have this vague thing. So I want to be on the record as voting in favor of tab G. So I'm saying aye.
Okay, item
Mr.
passes
Clerk,
5-0.
Tab H.
Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the attached clean water facilities plan addendum to the city of North Miami sanitary sewer master plan and second cycle sanitary sewer evaluation survey, open parentheses, facilities plan, close parentheses, and further authorizing the city manager and city attorney to do all things necessary to implement the facilities plan in order to obtain available funding from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection State Revolving Fund, open parentheses, SRF, close parentheses, in accordance with Florida law, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Public hearing is open on tab H. Public hearing is closed. Is there a motion to approve tab H?
Move to approve tab H.
Second.
Councilwoman Keys, any questions?
No.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. All right, tab H, if you will, just a brief explanation of what this does, and then I'll follow up with a couple quick questions.
Sure. We are required regulatory to check our infrastructure. This is separate from the water plant, but this deals with our sewage system. We use cameras to check the integrity of our pipes and to complete the regulatory requirement and determine that there are some areas that need to be repaired. What this item does is allows us approval to apply for the application to get state revolving funds, to use those funds at a very low interest rate to pay for the piping that needs to be repaired.
All right, so this is an application for new SRF funds. We've received 3 or 4 SRF
That's
gifts
correct.
recently, so this would be an additional one.
That's correct.
For $13 million.
Yes,
That comes from the state of Florida
that comes from the state of Florida.
via the U.S. government.
Correct.
The money that we would receive, is that considered a grant, a loan, a bonded amount? I'm unclear. What? How
It
will we term
is.
that?
It would be a loan.
Mr. Manager, excuse me. Did Mr. Alim sat with all of us and explain this whole thing to us? Mr. Alim, you didn't speak to Vice Mayor Galvin on this? Why not?
Alim Ghani, Public Works Director. It's on. Yeah. Stephanie contacted everybody and set up appointments. I think I met with everybody and except Councilman Galvin on it to discuss the matter.
Through you, Madam Mayor, to the City Attorney, am I still allowed to ask questions even if I was unavailable to meet with staff?
No,
prior
the
to
thing
this
is
meeting?
that you see, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to.
Okay.
Those are basic questions. Whenever they come up with an agenda, staff make sure that they sit down with each person in order to answer our questions.
I've been up here almost 15 years. I get that.
I believe that you should make yourself available when things like that happen.
Don't
have to waste time in
Madam
asking
Mayor,
the same
don't
questions that
challenge me.
everybody-
Don't challenge me,
I'm not
Madam
challenging
Mayor.
you,
Then
mister.
please don't challenge me if you're not challenging
Okay.
me.
What
I
I'm
meet
saying
with
is that
staff
this
as often
question-
as I can.
Mr. Galvin.
I talked to city manager
Galvin.
several times today, Madam Mayor. Whenever Mr. Ghani must have reached out to me to meet, I wasn't available. Sometimes my work schedule dictates I do what I'm paid full-time to do.
You are paid also to be a councilman
And
as well.
I invest a serious, large amount of time looking at city items. So please, don't pretend or insinuate that I'm not doing my due diligence.
What we're saying, Mr. Galvin, is that everybody who's sitting on this dais already aware of where the money is coming from and what's the interest rate and how much money that the state is giving us to do these requirements. And I don't see why we are wasting time. in
Because
asking
you're
questions
challenging
that
me.
Everybody's asking
We're going to now
questions.
spend longer arguing over me asking questions than my actual questions.
No,
Just
you
let
know,
me ask
it's-
my questions and move on. If I want to have the discussion in public rather than behind closed
Then
doors
you do
with
a
staff-
town hall meeting.
No,
because
no,
this
that's
year,
what council meetings are for.
No, you
I
do
know
a
you're
town
new
hall
and you don't
meeting.
get it yet. I
No,
know
no.
you're brand new. And
Trust me, I get it, and
well,
I get
then
it
you
very
should,
well.
Then you should understand
So,
strongly
Mr.
that I'm
Galvin,
allowed to ask questions. So through you, Madam Mayor, to the attorney, am I allowed to ask
You need
questions
to do
right
your
now?
You need to do your
Through you-
homework before you come
through
here like
you-
everybody else's does.
Through you,
You
to
need
the
to do
city
your
attorney,
homework.
I do my homework times 10, and you don't want me to start going right now, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, through you, to the city attorney, am I allowed to ask questions right now?
It's up to the mayor.
No, come on. You're going to tell me I'm not allowed to ask questions?
And the mayor, as you know, Councilman.
I had the
this
floor,
is-
so when I was granted the floor, I was asked if I had questions. I started asking questions. Am I not allowed to continue with my questions?
My thing is, I'm sorry, Madam City Attorney. My thing
I'll
is,
file a lawsuit tomorrow if
Those are the
necessary. I
questions-
get to ask questions.
Those
I
are
get
the
to ask any
questions that we
question I
all-
want. I was
Mr. Galvin.
I was given the floor. I had maybe spent 30 seconds asking a couple of questions to make sure I understand what I'm about to vote on.
Those are all the questions that were answered yesterday by the staff when he came with the presentation.
I did
And-
not
and-
meet with
and-
staff yesterday. I was meeting with staff on other things. So without getting into those other things, I'd just like to ask a few simple questions on this thing. I'm just trying to understand whether or not this is a loan, or whether it's a bond, or whether it's a grant. That was my last question, and
Mr.
we were
Manager,
going to be
would you-
done.
Would you answer quickly his question so we can move on?
This is a low-interest loan. Depending on how many applicants come throughout the state, portions of it could revert to a grant. So we don't know that until a later date. So we will just assume that it will be a grant, a loan, and it's a very low interest rate.
Thank you.
Anybody wishes to record a nay?
Aye.
Was that a nay vote?
No, it's an aye in favor. I'm going to just do this every time.
I guess item passes 5-0, Mayor and Council.
Tab
Okay,
aye.
tab H1.
H.
That was on the add-on agenda, by the way. Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, designating Northeast 121st Street between North Miami Bayshore Drive and 122nd Road to be known as Rabbi Jory Laneway or Rabbi Jory Lane Street in accordance with Miami-Dade County street designation rules, authorizing the city manager to allocate and expend the necessary funds to cover the costs for signage and do all things necessary to effectuate the designation, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Public hearing is open.
Annie Montgomery, 2082 Laurel Lane. I want to take the opportunity to ask our council and our city manager and staff to please speak into the microphones not alongside them so we can hear them. I can usually hear our city attorney. She does make an effort to speak into the microphone, so I want to thank you for that. I also want to say I want my council person to ask questions because that's the only way we're going to be educated what's happening.
Are you talking about H1, madam?
I said this
You
is
have
the
a
only
comment?
chance I can get to speak, and I am going
We
to
have an
tell you
item on the
right
floor,
now
madam. We have an
that
item on the floor.
I am glad
You speak on it.
I want to hear my council people ask questions so I can get educated to what's happening. Thank you.
Public hearing is closed. Anybody wishes to record a no?
I have questions.
We don't have a motion yet.
Oh,
I'll make a motion that we pass this resolution.
Second for discussion.
this is new to us.
This was an add-on. The reason I asked for it to
We
be...
just got this tonight, didn't we?
Yes.
Hmm.
So we do have to vote for, I guess it's for, at least four
Because,
people have to...
yes, because the agenda was closed, any add-on resolutions have to be passed by 4/5 vote, and they have to be of an emergency nature. So Councilwoman Keys will explain to you why she wanted to add this item on this evening.
I wanted to add this item because Rabbi Lang, who we all know, who has been here many times, has been a strong member of our city, has been with Temple Beth Moshe 25 years. They're having an anniversary party on November 23rd, and I should have brought this to staff sooner, but it was requested that maybe we could name the little street right in front of the temple after Rabbi Lang. It's just a very small parcel. He also owns a house across the street, thought it was appropriate, and I'm sorry to bring it up at the last minute.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think there is nobody, perhaps in this community, more deserving of having a street named after him. However, I cannot be supportive this evening because I don't feel this is of an emergent nature. We could do the same thing in 2 weeks, have it properly publicly noticed, and still honor him in time for the 25th anniversary. I'm just always hesitant about rushing stuff on as an emergency item when I don't see the emergency. Hurricane Katrina, there was an emergency. This still has some wiggle room, so I won't vote in favor for that reason.
Councilwoman Steele. Councilman Bien-Aimé.
Nothing to say.
Yeah, and I think maybe for the first time I'm joining you. I think this is a little bit rush. I would just table it for the next council meeting as we get closer to the anniversary date. That allows not only people to come and speak on Citizen Forum, and for us also to sit down with Rabbi Lang. He's a friend of mine, and I think this requires probably non-emergency, as Councilman Galvin said.
Can I make a motion to continue this to the October 22nd meeting?
We will table it, that's right.
Okay, I'll second that.
I don't understand. How does that work? We already have, didn't we have a motion and
No, we
second?
didn't
No, we
vote.
didn't have
we
anything?
didn't. No, it was
So
just
what do
for
we do
discussion.
now?
We're tabling it.
Do we
Because this
vote
is
on the-
to,
Fam.
as Vice Mayor Galvin said, this is not an
No,
emergency.
I understand what he
It
said.
just added on. So today, we're not going to be discussing or voting on it. We will do so at the next meeting.
I believe it was not added on.
Okay.
So what the motion is now is to continue it for the next meeting.
But you said a motion. Is it the motion need a vote or the motion
The
just
motion
says
to continue does need a vote, yes.
does not need a vote?
Does, it
Does.
does need a vote,
Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
yes.
Thank
I made the motion to continue it.
Second.
Anyone
Galvin
wishes to
already
record a no?
Aye.
Okay,
Mr.
just for the record, Mayor, so it was moved by Councilwoman Keys. It was already seconded by Galvin, and it passed 5-0. And this was a motion to table this item and move it to the next council meeting.
Mhm.
And, okay, just to clarify the record.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council. All right, tab I.
Aye.
Now I gotta go to my book here. All right. An ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, amending Chapter 29 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances entitled Land Development Regulations by amending Article 4, Division 3, entitled Non-Residential Districts, specifically at Section 4-302, entitled Uses Permitted to Establish Recreation Entertainment Outdoor as Special Exception Use in the M1 zoning district to foster economic growth consistent with the City of North Miami Comprehensive Plan, providing for conflicts, severability, codification, and an effective date. It's tab I.
Public hearing is open on tab I. Public hearing is now closed. Anybody wishes to make a motion to approve tab I?
Move approval.
Second for discussion.
Councilwoman Keys.
Yes, I just want to make it clear, I know we don't have an applicant, but we have all this language and proposals of drive-ins. I don't know why that's appropriate for this. I just want to make sure that when this drive-in does come into the city, this still has to come in for a special exception variance?
That is correct.
Okay, so why is all the drive-in information and traffic studies included with this package? It's irrelevant.
In the
isn't
council
it?
report or in the resolution?
It's part of the city council report, staff report. I mean, it's just
But
all-
it's not in the resolution. So what you're approving is just the use in that district.
Okay.
And yes, you're correct. It will be going before the Board of Adjustment for particulars.
No further questions.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Keys. Sterile. Councilman Bien-Aimé.
No.
Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Thundro,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Galvin,
Yes.
Councilman Bien-Aimé,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys,
Yes.
Councilwoman Steril. Item passes 5-0. Tab J. An ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, amending Chapter 2 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances to update, organize, and clarify specific sections of the chapter, including substantive, legal, stylistic, and organizational changes, while providing consistent use of terms and correction of Scrivener's errors, providing for conflicts, severability, codification, and an effective date.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second for discussion. Councilwoman Keys.
Yes, same question as last time. I have an issue with and I spoke to the attorney about it. I have an issue regarding raising the limit of the charter board from 25,000 to 100,000 without council approval. And I had last time made a friendly amendment to leave it at 25,000.
All right. So, Vice Mayor Sterl, any questions?
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Well, whatever, you know. Councilman Bien-Aimé, any questions?
Nope.
There was a
Stay
motion
active.
made and seconded to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
No.
nay. The motion fails 2-2. Moving on to
This
tab.
is an ordinance. I'm sorry.
It has failed on second reading, 2-2. There was no positive second
Yeah,
reading.
I think
Okay.
you need roll call.
My apologies. Suddenly we stand on formality. Mr.
Vice
You know.
Mayor Galvin,
No.
Councilman Bien-Aimé,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys,
No.
Councilwoman Steril.
Yes.
My item fails 2-2.
Item
Discussion on tab L as in Larry. Mr. City Clerk.
All right, let me do this. Okay, discussion, tab L. Discussion and approval regarding allocating $650,000 to sidewalks, streetscape beautification, and other capital improvements in District 2.
Councilwoman Keys, your request. Can you explain to us, please?
Yes, at the budget meeting 2 weeks ago, we had an allocation for capital improvements in the amount of $780,000. They were not allocated or delineated in any way. I have since requested that $650,000 of that $780,000 be allocated to District 2 for sidewalk, streetscape beautification, and other capital improvements. And since the council allocated the sum of $1,500,000 the evening before for District 3, I felt it was only appropriate, and I was advised by other council members that if I want money, I have to ask for it. So I'm asking for it this evening. I want to explain that this is not just for the east side. Our District 2 covers a lot of the central city from 16th Avenue all the way east to Northeast 6th Avenue. It's an extremely neglected portion of our city. There's a lot of blight. Our CRA calls it a blighted area. Our Public Works Director has given a schedule that shows actually that District 2 has the highest need of improvements to the tune of $742,000. I'm also looking, there's $56,000. We've been given several grants, surtax money for covered, sheltered bus shelters, and it breaks my heart really to see people sitting in the rain waiting for buses. And I think this will cover the cost of 5 bus shelters, one on Biscayne Boulevard and 123rd, and 3 of these, two are on 123rd and Biscayne. 3 of these are on Northeast 6th Avenue and 125th Street. One actually is in District 3, but they do need $56,000. As soon as they get funds for that, we can have covered bus shelters for our residents. We have $742,000 in capital improvements. We just, last council meeting, we approved, we're getting a grant, or we have a project for $800,000 for beautiful date palms along 125th Street, our downtown area. We are getting $400,000 grant. We have to match that $400,000. I believe we found $300,000. We're short $100,000 to finish the trees. This was my discussion with Maxine Calloway before she left, and if I'd like to make sure that the $100,000 comes to the downtown. Further, we need to really clean up our downtown and the West Dixie Highway. It is blighted. It is very neglected, and I really would appreciate the allocation of this money to fix up Central City. Very little of it is going. The only portion that would be going to the real east side, as you call it, would just be to fix sidewalks. Our sidewalks are so dangerous. There's holes. I can go show you where people are tripping. People are walking to the buses, and we really need to fix our sidewalks. It's so important. So I'd appreciate your going along with this. Thank you.
Is there a motion on tab L?
I would move.
Second.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Sure, no, I just have no problem with the request.
Councilwoman Steril. Councilman Bien-Aimé? Okay. Let me ask you this, Councilwoman Keys. On the budget hearing, we voted for capital improvement throughout the city. I remember, and the reason why the city manager is doing all these changes so that we can have enough money to do improvements, not in, I don't have a district, but throughout the entire city of North Miami. Although you didn't vote for the budget, where would you suggest that you find this $650,000?
We allocated
$50,000.
We allocated.
Because if we're doing capital improvement, it's going to be throughout the entire city, isn't
Well, it wasn't. No, it didn't say. We just put out there $780,000 for capital improvements.
And
District 3 just got $1.5 million, which we also voted for throughout the city and turned into District 3. So I've been told to ask for it. My $650,000 will come out of the $780,000 line item in the budget for capital improvements, which leaves $280,000 for Districts 1 and Districts 4.
What would happen to capital improvement if each of you folks start asking $500,000 here and $500,000 there? I believe that Councilman Bien-Aimé did ask for the money of Biscayne lending, money that was already allocated. Am I wrong? I'm not sure that
no, we took the Biscayne. We took $1.5 million from our employee salaries.
It was exactly from the 3.5 base salary.
allocated
That's
for
where we took the
employees.
money. It was unallocated.
No, it was
Anyway.
allocated to employees.
And the city manager took $2 million to balance our budget. And for the 780,
because we needed $500,000
I understand
for capital
that.
improvements.
And Councilwoman Keys, I remember when we were working on the budget, and I asked for 780,000 for capital improvement, city manager. And that's why I said I will vote to keep the millage rate 8.1. And I remember Councilwoman Carol Keys vote against it, and Councilwoman Carol Keys did not vote for the budget because that 780,000 was allocated for capital improvement, and she said that money should be in reserve instead of do capital improvement.
But since
And
we've taken it out-
Councilwoman Carol Keys need to understand, when I asked for the $1.5 million, we was at the end of the budget year. After I spoke to the city manager, after I sat down with Public Works, and I asked them where can we find money to do capital improvement in District 3. Since in February, when we were allocated money for District 3 did not have anything. And the city manager told me we don't have money in the budget. That's why I go on the unallocated fund. But now we just passed a budget. And I'm pretty much sure if we work throughout the budget, we will find money to do capital improvement, and we will find money to do sidewalk in the entire city. And I think Councilwoman should work the budget. And since when I was asking for the 1.5, she said it wasn't legal, and she even went on the radio and said, and she was misleading.
I was not misleading. No.
It was
we
illegal
voted,
to allocate
we voted for the
money
city.
for.
Even the mayor said it was for the city. And then if
But
it
after
had
that,
gone
I
for
brought a
you, then we
resolution
would not
and you
have
voted
needed,
against it.
we would not have needed to take a revote if it had been the way you wanted it. We would have just kept it that way.
I understand
But
you
you've
need
got
money.
$1.5 million. Is that not enough for your district? We have the downtown to clean up. We've got Dixie Highway. This is not just. This is for the entire city.
I understand.
This is
I'm
a
not-
pass-through.
I'm
We
not
need
gonna
the money.
ask-
Downtown is blighted. It needs fixing up. Dixie Highway is so neglected. It has never had any money. It did not get very much money from the CRA all these years. District 4 got
Councilwoman,
yes.
I'm not saying that you cannot have money for your district.
Okay.
But
Then I'm
what
asking for it.
No, what I'm saying, the 780,000, it's for capital improvement throughout the city.
So you got a 280,000 for beyond, because my district is very large.
280 you're talking about.
We have a $780,000 in
For
a line
capital
item.
improvement.
Right, and I want 500 of it, 650 of it going towards District 2, because we have
But
a large
we
district.
have money in the budget for sidewalk.
That is correct.
Is that correct, City Manager? I
No.
understand if you are
Mr.
at the
City
end of the
Manager,
budget year.
Isn't it District 2 part of the city of North Miami?
Yes, Mayor.
Is
But
the
if I don't
capital
ask for money, then
improvement that we
it's not
have-
going to come to
because I
downtown.
understand that you have had a walk through the city to see the places that needs more urgent work to be done in them, and the money for capital improvement is for the city and for us to create a downtown North Miami, isn't it?
Your allocation was for citywide. That was your desire. So we based the budget upon that. So it's your desire from the dais.
Well, but whatever improvement is done throughout the city. It doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. We're talking about capital improvement is to ensure that we identify areas and give a facelift to the city so it can be presentable to anybody that walks into it, isn't it?
Yes.
Then can we allocate to downtown corridor and West Dixie? We need money there. We need to fix it up. We might need.
That's part of capital improvement.
Yes, we might not. We might need a study for that too, to bring business to the city, which I'll talk about later. But right now, I'm talking about fixing the sidewalks and fixing up the blight.
Right, that is part of capital improvement.
And downtown.
Which is part of the budget.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Just point of procedure, do we need to open it up for public comment?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Mayor Thundro.
I'm just sorry. Why don't we need to open it up for public comment if it's an advertised item?
This is Annie Montgomery, 2082 Laurel Lane. I want to
Excuse
put
me,
you all
you're
on
not-
notice.
excuse me, madam.
I want to put you on notice that
Can
there's
somebody turn off
sidewalks
that
in
mic?
District
Madam
2
Montgomery.
on 132nd
Hello?
Street,
Hello?
131st Street is
Hello?
liable for an
Miss
accident.
Montgomery.
You're leaving yourselves
Miss
wide
Montgomery.
open for an
Hello?
accident.
Hello?
Thank you. And a
You see,
lawsuit.
Madam Montgomery, when you come here, you need to respect the order of things. Councilman Gavin asked a question. We were waiting for the answer. You would speak when we give you the right to do so. Okay, when we give you the right to do so, not before. Mr. Clerk, can you reread the motion, please?
Tab L motion was, it was really a discussion and approval regarding allocating $650,000 to sidewalks, streetscapes, beautification, and other capital improvements in District 2. It was moved by Councilwoman Keys and seconded by Councilwoman Stereo.
Roll call, please.
Well, I'm sorry,
Second
I
by
didn't.
who?
I never got a clear.
Excuse me, second by who? You really?
I seconded the motion on tab L as a point of questioning. I still didn't get an answer before Miss Montgomery interjected from the city attorney. Miss City
And that was
Attorney,
very rude.
Madam City Attorney.
How
I
did you
was
get
the-
my
no.
name?
I was the one. My voice just sounds a little effeminate sometimes.
Well, but why it has to be me?
Oh.
Is it sound that good, Scott?
The question I had for the city attorney when she had said that we did not need to open city discussion on this, public discussion on this, she said no. So I was asking for clarification why.
We've had citizens forum in the beginning of the meeting.
But if this is an advertised item, people can speak on the item. It doesn't, you know, we've had tabs A through K already.
Mr. Galvin, I forgot to open public forum. Okay, it was a simple.
No, it's not
mistake.
required for a
But
discussion
it's okay.
item.
It's okay, Madam Attorney. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Thundro,
No.
Councilman Bieneman,
No.
Councilwoman Keys,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Galvin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stereo.
No.
Item
What a
fails
surprise.
3-2. Tab M, discussion. I'm sorry. Tab M, discussion regarding North Miami's red light camera system.
Citizen forum is open on this one. Citizen forum is now closed.
May I, since I was the sponsor of this one, give an explanation? All right. About, this is tab M, red light
M.
cameras, yeah. About the end of July, Miami Herald ran a story that showed the income to various municipalities across Dade County from red light cameras in North Miami. Now, I was here on the council about 5 years ago when we first voted in favor of this. And I remember at the time the police chief couched this in terms as being something that would help public safety. It was at a few of the major intersections in the city, 125th and 6th, Biscayne and 135th. And we were told that it would be a safety issue, and I was certainly in favor of it at that time. But when this Miami Herald story came out at the end of July, it showed us right behind Miami-Dade County having brought in $3.6 million from the red light cameras. So I was a little taken aback that Miami Beach maybe brought in a few thousand. That's a bigger city than ours. Miami-Dade County, certainly a bigger community than ours, was a little over 5 million. Here we were in second place across all of Dade County with 3.6. So I asked staff, a couple of months later, I was finally able to learn that we've increased the number of red light cameras in North Miami over the last couple of years from 5 in the second year to currently 21 cameras. That's how we're bringing in $3.6 million because we're expanding a great deal our red light camera program. Now, I asked for and was never provided, you tell me I need to do my homework, I asked for several weeks ago a copy of the red light camera ordinance with the ATS company, was never provided a copy of it. But I'm very concerned that we're expanding our red light camera program without the council even being aware. Either this is a safety issue, which is what I voted in favor of it then for, or this has now become a secondary tax on drivers and it's just being driven by income to the city. I'm not in favor of this if we're going to go from 21 to 25 to 50 to 75 cameras across the city. I'm not in favor of red light cameras if they're just going to be used as a sneaky way to bring revenue into the city of North Miami. I know that the red light camera contract is up very soon. I thought it was worth us having a discussion as to what the future of our red light camera program is going to be. Are we going to keep it where it is? Are we going to scale it back? Are we going to move it forward? Personally, I'd like us to consider scaling it back. I'd like to see staff bring us back some proposals of what that would do and where we want to go. But I wanted to bring it, you'll notice I didn't ask that this be a voting item tonight. I specifically asked that this be a discussion item. Because if this council wants the future of our red light camera to be expanded so that we can generate revenue, then let's just say it. If we want to scale it back because we're afraid it's gone too far, then let's give that direction to staff. So that's my point in bringing this forward this evening. By going from 5 cameras to 21 cameras in essentially 2 fiscal years, I'm not comfortable with the way we're going.
Okay. Mr. Manager, can we hear your version on that?
Yes. Well, as you know, newspapers tend to print half of the story. I'm not for sure that the Miami Herald backed out the expense. There's the revenue side, and then there's the expense side. So I'm not for sure if they backed out the cost of operating those cameras from that $3.6 million. So that's one issue. So the revenue could be lower, but I don't have that information at this time. In terms of the safety, I will say that in the intersections where we currently have red light cameras, since the inception, we have not had any fatality accidents.
We hadn't had any prior to that because that was part of the discussion when we voted on it. Because
sir.
there was no discussion of fatalities then.
In the intersections, since we've had the red light cameras, we went back. We've had 9 fatalities in intersections, and those are intersections where we do not have red light cameras.
So then you're inclined to say we should expand this program from the 21 we have to intersections like that have the fatalities.
I would say that statistically, we can only go by that data. Where we have red light cameras at those intersections, we have not had any fatalities. The ones where we don't have cameras, we have fatalities, which shows that there is a reduction. In terms of why the increase is because when we did the contract, this was a phase approach. In some intersections, the reason why they went from that number up is because when we first installed the cameras, we did not put them in all 4 directions initially at each intersection. So it was a phase approach. We put it in one direction, we evaluated, and then we added for instance, we may put it southbound, then later we put it northbound, but the intent was to put it in north, east, south, and west directionals at that particular intersection. So when you see an increase, what that simply means is that we're now completing those intersections where the cameras were initially installed.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Manager. If this, Madam Attorney probably will be able, if this item is not, you don't want to vote on it, would it be better for you to put it on your report, council report, instead of...
No, because I wanted us to have an actual discussion. Council reports are sort of me talking and everybody listening, so to speak. I would like us to give direction to staff, especially as they get ready to negotiate a new red light camera contract. It's up, like, within the next 2 months. Am I correct?
I'm not for sure of the date, but I know it's up.
It's very soon,
yeah,
right?
I'm not sure of the date.
If we want this program to be expanded another 9 intersections, another 20 intersections, then I think we owe it to the community to say that's the direction we want it to go. I personally am not comfortable that this has become a revenue stream for the city. It's not just about safety. It's become money oriented.
Are you willing to make a motion?
And the reason that I say that is because I've had conversations with you leading into this meeting and other budget people who say, if you cut that money, we're going to have a real issue financially in this city. That shows me this program is more about money than it is about safety. You know, my hope is that there would be some council discussion. I'm willing to make a variety of different motions, but I'd like for some discussion from other council members. I'll make a motion that we eliminate the red light camera program in the city of North Miami immediately, or upon closure of the current contract.
Any second?
I'll make a motion that we ask staff to come back to the council at the October 22nd meeting with presentation of what scaling back red light cameras would mean financially for the city, and presenting any other related arguments or discussion that they would like.
Anyone wishes to second? Motion failed.
Then I just want to be on the record as noting when we've had the chance to discuss red light cameras in the city of North Miami, despite a couple of folks campaigning on that matter, I'm the only one tonight who's expressing any concern.
Can I say
comment?
something?
Yeah.
Just something. And the public need to understand, just a few weeks ago, we passed a budget, and Councilman Scott Galvin voted for the budget, and the red light camera was included in it.
All right.
But just because I vote for the budget as a whole doesn't mean I agree with every penny that's in it, Councilman. I, in this case, had already made known my concern with red light cameras. I think a few people in the room probably got the email, and I said I just wanted to bring it forward for discussion. Councilman, you campaigned, from my understanding, saying you were going to eliminate or scale back red light cameras.
No, I did not.
Okay, so I was given mistaken information.
I said I said I was going to work on it.
This was, but Councilman, tonight then was your opportunity to work on it.
No,
When,
Mr.
No,
Galvin,
just what I'm saying. 2 weeks ago, you passed a budget,
can we
and in
move
order to balance the
on?
budget,
Councilman, can we move
the
on?
red light camera money wasn't there, and you vote in favor of that.
then I'll make a motion to reconsider my vote on the budget as a whole, just so I can vote down. But that's sort of
You
picayune.
can do that.
But here, let's not try to shift the situation. Tonight, I was specifically asking for this discussion about red light cameras. You've seen the chart, I assume. You know we've gone from 5 to 17 to 21 in the last 2 years.
But from what the city manager told me, we didn't open any new site.
Yes, we
Is
have.
that correct?
There was a phase approach, and we are not varying from the original plan from the inception.
Mr.
Do
Manager.
we open new site?
Yes, in the last fiscal year, we opened 4 new camera sites. In the year before that, we opened 12 new camera sites. So from fiscal year 10 to fiscal year 12, I'm looking at information you've given me. We went from 5 to 21 cameras. We have
Mr. City
increased
Manager,
it.
isn't that part of the contract that when you folks have voted to install the camera in the city, wasn't it part of the contract that you've had with the company, or isn't it part of the contract that the city had with the company when you do that?
Madam Mayor, Councilman Galvin is right. We did open new sites, but it was based upon the contract and the phase approach for the program in the city.
When you did that, it was voted by
Yes.
this council.
That's the contract.
Whoever were there before,
Correct.
and it's part of the continuity of the contract. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So, Mr.
Thank you.
Manager, why couldn't you just give me a copy of the contract before tonight so I would know that?
Councilman, I didn't know what direction you were going at
I
with this
specifically
tonight.
asked, doesn't matter what I was going to bring up tonight, I specifically asked for a copy. I'll pull up the email right now of the contract we have with American Traffic Systems. Why was it that your office was unable to provide me with that information?
I'll find out.
Thank you.
But
Yeah,
the email
can
was
we-
to you, Council. I mean,
Can
Mr.
we
City Manager.
can we please move on? Council
May I-
report,
may I-
please.
Can I
We
say something on this discussion?
No, it's over.
It's not over.
It is over. Both
discussing.
motions
We
fail. We need to move on, Mrs. Keys. Council
No,
report.
we weren't
Whatever
supposed to
you
take
want
any-
to say, whatever you want to say, Just put it in your
No,
report
it's
so
still
that we
part
can
of-
move on.
It's still
Mayor?
part of,
We have one more item, tab N, but it was on the add-on agenda. Would you like that to be read?
There is another one?
Yeah. I know we discussed tab H1 on the tab N.
can I make a motion on, let me make a motion on this then.
What would you like?
Tab N,
This
please.
is ridiculous.
Tab N, which is on the add-on agenda, discussion and approval regarding city's millage rate adjustment.
Oh,
Last tab.
that's it?
Yes, Mayor.
Mr. Manager?
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council, this is my item, and it is an emergency, and the emergency is as follows. We received a phone call late last night indicating that the Miami-Dade County's assessed value of our property, they gave us a rollback rate of 7.8, and given us a rollback rate of 7.8, this council voted for the rollback rate of 7.8. However, because of their assessment of our property when they sent us the trim notice today, the true rollback rate would be 7.9. So what I'm seeking approval tonight is to continue with what this council had voted on, is to roll the millage rate back to the rollback rate, and the new rollback rate would be 7.9 opposed to 7.8.
Move for approval.
I second it if I have to.
Discussion? What does that represent in terms of the budget that we had just passed? What
If-
is the significance of this in terms of the tax on the citizens' property and so on and so forth?
Sure. If we leave the rollback rate that the county originally gave us, which is 7.8, instead of the new rollback rate of 7.9, if we stay with the 7.8, it would be approximately $200,000 loss to the general fund.
I'm sorry.
Yes, if we, staff's recommendation, we go to the rollback rate that the county is now telling us is 7.9 opposed to the 7.8. If that is not the desire of the council, then it would result in approximately $200,000 deficit to the general fund.
No, I thought during the budget hearing, we said that we were not going to raise anybody's taxes because of the mileage rate that we...
That's correct.
Okay. Now, what is the consequence of what the county appraiser didn't do or didn't... I'm not understanding after we pass a budget for them to come now to say it's different than what they have told us. This is beyond my comprehension because we were based... the budget was voted based on what they had told us, how they appraised the properties in the city.
That's correct. Mayor, we're not raising the taxes. What
Okay.
you voted on during the budget hearing was to go to the rollback rate. The rollback rate that the county predicted would be 7.8. They are simply telling us that their analysis is incorrect, so the rollback rate is 7.9.
Okay. Any other questions regarding...
We move
May I
on.
add?
Yes.
May I add?
Mhm.
From what I understand, this is not unusual. Usually how the county appraise it, if it's a point or less, they just go about, leave it as is. But in this time, it's 1.5 or 1.4, but it's
That's
more
correct.
than one. So they have to actually present it to us for us to vote on it.
That's correct.
But this is not unusual.
It's their analysis is over 1% incorrect.
Okay.
So therefore, it's 1.5, so therefore it has to come back to this body.
Okay, understood. Councilman Bien-Aimé, any...
So we make a motion to move it.
There was a motion already made.
No question.
Councilwoman Keys,
No discussion.
He seconded.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Thank you.
I move it,
second.
he seconded.
if I have issue with the budget, I know, never mind. I know where I'm going with this. Anyway, no questions.
Mr. Clerk,
Just for the record, Mayor, we have a motion from Councilwoman Sterrill and a second from Councilman Bieneme. And now this is a roll call vote. Councilwoman Sterrill.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mayor, and for the matter of the record, we have to give the exact amount, and I'm looking here from my staff report as to what that number would be. The rollback rate, official rollback rate that we're asking you to approve tonight is 7.9321, is what staff is recommending that you can approve for the true rollback rate.
What is it, Madam Attorney? Do I have to move it again, or we go as it is?
If you could just move it as
I'll move it as 7.9832,
321.
whatever the city manager just mentioned on the record.
Seconded.
Okay. Now, I just need to roll. I don't have to read that thing out no more, right? Okay. Motion was made by Councilwoman Sterrill, seconded by Councilman Bieneme. Rate 7.9321. Councilwoman Sterrill.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Because I do not agree with the full budget that we are now about to approve, and I didn't get the chance to vote that way the first time, I'm now disagreeing with the budget and voting no.
Mayor Thundro.
yes.
Councilman Bieneme.
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys.
Does this mean I approve the budget, or does this mean I approve the rate?
The rate.
The rollback rate, the millage rate,
On which the budget is based.
yes.
Because if we didn't approve it tonight, we'd have to make some changes to the budget, because now we'd be out of kilter. As you explained to me today as I was doing my homework and my
Councilwoman
discussion with
Keys,
you,
can we hear your vote, please?
No.
Item passes 3-2. All right, that completes.
Okay. Council reports?
No, may I just add one thing?
Can I?
You know
Yeah.
what made me very sad? I have been here this is my second or my third mayor. I never have a chance to whine. I usually have too many whiners up here. You guys need to give me a chance to be a woman. Scott, come on. Next council meeting is my turn.
okay.
All right. Go ahead, Madam Mayor.
I'm not getting this. Council report, Councilwoman Keys.
Hey, thank you. One, I had asked the clerk, are we ever going to rotate the order of our council reports? Will I always be first?
I don't have that authority.
Don't mind going
I'm
first.
just a
You have
schmuck in
no
the room.
report?
don't have
I
that.
do. I have lots to report. I just want to know,
Okay, so go ahead.
I'm asking a question. Will I always be first, or will we rotate this?
It's only at my discretion. I don't
Okay.
think there's any law to that.
I didn't ask if there was a law. I just asked if it would ever be rotated, so I guess the answer is no. Next item, I would like to go back to discussion tab M, since I wasn't allowed to discuss. I was under the impression that we weren't going to be voting on that, which is why, after we were done with Councilman Galvin's motions, I was ready to discuss. I looked into this. I am a proponent of the red light cameras. I'm not really looking necessarily to scale back, but I did a lot of checking back in the end of 2011 when we did have, I believe, 21 cameras. Now that I'm on the council, maybe we can get a little more done. Back then, we had permits for 7 cameras, and we did not have permits for the remaining 14 cameras. And there were certain requirements that we had to abide by with the red light cameras, certain notices. What I would like to do is not so much see what it would take to scale back, but to get a report from staff. I believe the contract is coming up for renewal soon. I'd like to get a discussion. I'd like a discussion and a report on the status of our camera locations. We had a pamphlet. I don't know if the pamphlet includes the new locations. I'd also like to know if these cameras are all permitted, because they are required to be permitted when they're placed. And I know that I spoke to the camera. AD, I think I spoke to the camera company last week at the League of Cities conference, and he had provided me with a report. It was pretty favorable that we were we weren't really taxing too many of the residents, and a lot of the incidences were only one-time violation. I'd like that report to be able to give to staff and the remaining council so we can take a look at the red light cameras, discuss it, and see where we want to go with it. Is that something you would be interested in, or?
I'm stunned to find out we've put up 14 cameras without permits. Is that accurate?
That's not accurate. All of our cameras are.
Are we going
go
back
through
to
this
tab
permit
M?
process.
Yes, we are.
If
I-
we are
I
going
would-
to tab M, you have to make a motion.
I'm discussing, I'm just asking Councilman Galvin. I'd like to make a motion that we get a report from staff for next time, that we get, make sure all these cameras are permitted in the locations, and to incorporate the reports of the company who did a survey. Okay. I'll just do another request as I did 2 years ago. Okay, I'll keep going. On my request for the money, I'm really surprised. I'm not surprised, but I'm sorry that we did not get money awarded or allocated to District 2. I think District 3 got more than enough, and our city is in dire need of sidewalk repair. My district, District 2, from the Bay to Northeast 6th Avenue, downtown is so blighted, it needs improvements. You allocated $780,000 to me, which is nothing more than a slush fund for something, which is why I've requested $650, so I know that the money will be spent wisely. Mayor, you want to improve the downtown district. Part of my report is I walked about 5 blocks this weekend. I went in and talked to every merchant from 6th Avenue to 9th Avenue, and the people are crying. They need business. We don't need to give money necessary to the landlords to put more crummy awnings up there, but we have to do something with our downtown district. And I would like to do that, and I would like to have had some money allocated so we could fix up the downtown area.
Councilwoman
We've got to.
Councilwoman
Yes.
Keys, you've heard me over and over and over again talking about, and even during my campaign, talking about having a live downtown.
That's right. So let's
So I
allocate
don't
some
see
money
why
and do
you
it.
are reiterating that, because
But-
this is something that we're working on to ensure that we have a downtown. That's too
We've-
why not?
we've
been
got-
talking about it over and over
We
and
have the
over
merchants.
again.
We have the merchants. Let's take care of them. Let's
Well-
put our money where our mouth is. Let's allocate some money.
Madam Keys, next.
Okay. This is my report. Okay. I'd like, on some nicer news, we met with the, 2 weeks ago, we had our floodplain, annual floodplain meeting, and I would like to commend Jeff Geimer for continuing his work on the floodplain, and staff. We have maintained, for those of you out there who do not know, we have a CRS rating of 5. It's one of the highest ratings you can get, and one of the few cities in the nation that have this rating. And if any of you pay flood insurance, you will see on your bill that you get a 25% discount. I just received an $825 discount on my flood insurance, and that is for the work of staff for maintaining this rating. There are policies we have to keep in place. Part of this is outreach to citizens, and my outreach tonight is if any of you have knowledge of any flooding areas in the city, to please contact me or staff to let us know, and we will mitigate that, and that is part of our program. But thank you, Mr. Geimer, because we are getting a 25% discount on our flood insurance. Anybody who is not in a flood zone who still wants flood insurance or is required by their lender, they also get a 10%. So I'm happy to report that. And that's all I have to report.
Councilman Galvin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Start with sad news, noting the passing of a longtime activist in the city of North Miami, Harry Rushing. He was very involved in the Central North Miami homeowners group. Passed away just maybe 3 days ago. He'd been sick a lot lately, and he was, older. So he certainly lived a long, full life. But I certainly would like our city council to have noted the passing of an activist who gave a lot of his hours and time to the Central North Miami community. Harry Rushing is survived by his wife Elizabeth, and his viewing will be tomorrow, Wednesday, October the 9th, from 6 to 10 p.m. at Southern Memorial Funeral Home on 151st and West Dixie Highway. Some thank you to staff and thank you to residents in my district. The residents of 142nd Street Executive Manors area are very thrilled to see the new wall going up in the alleyway that abuts their home. They'd been dealing with a broken down one for a long time, and one of the Progress 2013 projects we'd gotten put in there was replacing their wall, so they're very excited. And we're planning at this point a Saturday afternoon bring your own food block party, so I'll let all the council members know. You'll be invited to come on out there and celebrate with the neighbors.
Invite people for them to bring their own.
When is that?
Well, we're looking at a date in November right now. We want to make sure we give everybody enough time.
You don't invite people and ask them to bring their own food.
Well, council
provide
members,
food.
council members won't have to bring their own food, but
Okay.
I'll invite you to the party that the neighbors are having, because I want you to come along, certainly, and celebrate in a neighborhood that came together to get something done. And they're very proud of the work that they've done, so I tip my hat to them because they stuck around for that project for a couple of years. Mr. Manager, we just touched, I'll come back to red light camera permitting later. I don't want to rip open that. Are you giving an environmental report on Biscayne Landing this evening under your report?
I did provide a copy, but if you like, yes, I will.
Okay. Sure, and I would then, so that I don't bring up questions now, I'd like to ask if I have any questions upon hearing the report, Madam Mayor, would I be allowed to bring those questions forward under the city manager's report later?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the last note I close with is North Miami Pioneers football team beat North Miami Beach this week to improve to 5-0. It is their best start probably in close to 20 years since the original Swamp Dogs.
My class, 2001, we went 5-0 my junior year.
Okay.
And that was in 2000.
In 2000, okay, so in 13 years, this is their best start. It's the first time they beat NMB in a long while, and we're very, very proud of our North Miami High football team and all of the North Miami High athletic participants. It's nice to see the Miami Herald running North Miami Pioneer headlines way out front in the sports section on Saturday morning after a Friday night game. So I'm proud of all our Pioneers. That's all I've got to report tonight.
They must have good contacts. Councilman Bien-Aimé?
And, thank you, Madam Mayor. And as far as the red light camera, and from what I understand, 80% of the people who have a ticket from the red light camera, they don't live in the city of North Miami.
73.
73%. And about that, and I will be conducting a town hall meeting in my district about the red light camera to see what people think and feel about it, and make some recommendation in the future. Thank you.
That's it?
Yes.
Councilwoman Steele.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Do not whine.
Well, I'm trying not to, but seriously, I want a moment of whining. I just want to congratulate Councilman Bien-Aimé for a good job, because you did your homework. As a newcomer, I have to be careful for you not to overshine me. But seriously, good work. And I heard a lot of good things about the work that you have done in your district. That's kind of make me jealous, because a couple of years ago, I was there with District 4, so right now I think I'm about to retire, which I shouldn't be. But anyways.
Retired from what?
Oh, no, I'm tired. Congratulations. This month, although that we know is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which I congratulate the mayor for, you feel really there's a woman in power. I see those nice big bowls around City Hall. We even have drape in the lobby. I think it's very nice. But it's also International Creole Month. I heard a lot of talking about the International Creole Month. In celebration of the International Creole Month, I will be hosting a forum sometime next week. I don't have the date and the time. I have not confirmed the date and the time yet, but I will do so by tomorrow. And the guest speaker will be Honorable Daniel Suplis from the Republic of Haiti. This forum is specifically to spark conversation, to bring us closer, to bring the generation gap I know usually when we talk about the Haitian Flag Days or Creole, but it's not so much about the older generation. But we do have an issue in our community as Haitian where the younger generation do not understand or actually speak the language or understand where the language coming from. And also we'll say the people that do not speak Creole as well are welcome to that forum. That should take place to one of our university where I don't want to say it yet because we have not signed the agreement with them, right, Dr. Claude? So this should be advertised through China 77. We'll send flyers, we'll make phone calls, we will advertise it wherever that we can. That should be a very interesting forum where we will know a little bit more about where Creole come from. And it was amazing to me when I was doing a little research about how many countries that speak Creole, because normally, specific in the city of North Miami, when we refer to about Creole, it's come up to Haitian or Haiti. It seemed like there are much more countries that actually speak Creole, which is Dominicana, Grenada, French Guyana, Haiti, of course, Trinidad, Martinique, Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, even Hawaii, Philippines, and New Orleans. Also in the United States, we have Creole speakers. So I think it will be very interesting to come and participate to understand the background of the Creole language. And when I do a little research again, it seemed like St. Lucia, this year, I think is the first time that city of North Miami embarked in that movement to acknowledge Creole as a language itself, but since 1984, St. Lucia has been doing so. Another thing that I have, Madam Mayor, if you allow me, I talked to the city attorney before, but I have not talked to the city manager about it. Before then, up here in the dais, it seemed like we have more, for lack of better word, I would say more order. I know it happened today, but I want the constituent to excuse me. It's not about you, but I have been thinking about that a long time ago. We're up here on the dais. If we have a citizens or a vendor, whomever wants to approach us, they understand the order either to give whatever that they want to give to us through the city manager, or the city attorney, or the city clerk. But lately, everybody just come up here, and I feel kind of unsafe. Last week, I know Miami Herald, both reporters just come up behind the dais to talk to us. So I'm not saying it's illegal because I don't think it's not in my purview to know what's legal or not, but I feel that it was never done before. If there's something changed right now, Madam City Attorney, let me know if there's anything that we can take up here to make it, to formalize it a little bit much better.
You certainly can have a policy that would not allow non-council or staff to approach the dais or go behind the dais. You can certainly have a policy that states that.
So it's my concern. So I'm hoping, I'm not opposed to council. If council want to talk about it, or if I need to make a motion, I'll be happy to make a motion, but I don't want to go that route. I will allow council to make the 2 cents, because to me, I feel that this is a private area where, yes, it's public, it's belong to the public, whatever we write, but again, we should feel comfortable and safe when we sit behind the dais. So that's my concern.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I'd like to piggyback on the Creole Month. City of North Miami has partnered with the Librairie Mapou, Société Coupouille, and the Haitian Consulate to celebrate the Creole Month. So there will be some activities as well. I don't want you to overlap in what they are doing. It would be best for maybe to, make it bigger.
If I knew that they were doing it up here, I wouldn't have a problem. But since I already advertised it, I will, get in contact with them.
It's all right, because it's
sure.
It's important.
If you allow,
it used to be a dialect. That's what they called it. Now it is a language, and I think it is worth being recognized. And sometimes people think that Creole is a patois, and it's not a patois because it has its own dictionary and verb and the entire 9 years that goes with it. It's just something like that I wanted to pass. As you talk about the passing of an activist, we have to mention also the passing of former State Representative John Patrick Julien. We have had a memorial for him on Saturday, and I'm glad that we were there to salute the families of State Rep John Patrick Julien. Most of our residents have seen them here on many occasions doing presentations in terms of what's going on in the state, and he will be missed. He was a friend, and I think his passing was way too quick and way too young. Also, there's the Staten Memorial Baptist Church city manager. It's a local nonprofit organization. They have requested for collaboration with the city of North Miami for a gospel concert on January 12, 2014 at the North Miami Senior High Auditorium. Pastor Bill and his church, which is located on 119 and North Miami Avenue, has a lot of residents of the city of North Miami, and I've met him as well. So it's not going to, the initiative is to raise funds for a home and for an orphanage for children that were displaced after the earthquake. And this is not going to cost us any money. It's just for us to allow them to use the North Miami Auditorium in order for them to do their fundraising on the occasion of the 4th anniversary of the earthquake in Haiti. So I would like to partner with them, and it's a worthy cause, I believe. The second thing, I would like to congratulate staff, especially Madam Deputy Attorney, City Manager, Madam Claude, for her giving directions to staff in terms of my visions, and I think the work was well done. We have ordered a wonderful board to put over at City Hall. The first one, my goodness, was, so we had to return it and get exactly what we wanted, and I'm glad you took the lead for that. And staff have been working, Parks and Recreation and everybody, in order for us to humanize the breast cancer month in the city. Instead of just mentioning it, we are making it something real with real people and real actions that we are taking. Also tomorrow, we will have the town hall meeting at the Joe Celestine Center for the Obamacare. We have many partners, so council is also invited to be there. We're going to have a private reception with council and and others elected officials who are partnering in that town hall meeting. It's first of all to explain the population what is the Obamacare and what is navigation and the different options that they have in terms of choice of insurance. We will have people from Boyne Clinic, from St. La, from Miami-Dade County, and Center for North Miami Elderly Center that are going to be there in order to help people register. We know that in the city of North Miami, the library have navigators ready to walk the site with the citizens that needs to know it, and we telling our people not to sign in until they fully understand what it is. And we understand that insurance companies also will be knocking on your doors, but you need to shop through the marketplace in order for you to be eligible for any type of exemption that the Obamacare is offering to our city. And this invitation is not only for the people of North Miami, it's open to everyone tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the Joe Celestine Center for you to come, ask questions. If you're ready and if you do understand the whole process, you can register, because we will have navigators on site that will do so for you as well. And the walk initiative is going very well as well. And thank you to Stephanie, thank you to Katia, and thank you to Dr. Claude again, and Parks that have worked with me in terms of putting this idea together. It's going to be a very big event, and we're going to use that day as well for the kickoff, the 19th of October, to do breast cancer screening. We confirmed that today with Bowen Quinn Clinic. Once a month, we're going to have a nutritionist that will tell you how good you're doing, what is the healthy way to do it. I believe that we're going to have a pedometer that will tell you how much walk you have done, and it will be recorded. So our goal is 1 million steps. And I find out when I walk 3 miles, I do 7,209 steps. So 1 million is not unreachable. This is something we can do. It's for the entire community. We're going to start at Cagney Park on the 19th, and then it will be in the morning, because that's for the kickoff. After that, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 5 to 8 p.m. We will start on Mondays at the Miami Athletic Stadium, FIU Stadium, as we call it. On Wednesday, we'll be at Cagney Park, and on Fridays, it will be at the Claude Pepper Park. So we are encouraging people. We have to stay healthy. We would love for our residents to be healthy, and we're going to do all that. Oh, my garden. I forgot that garden we're going to do for the breast cancer survivor and breast cancer people who have passed with breast cancer. There will be a garden by the Griffin Senior Citizen Center where everybody who have had a family member, a loved one who either survived breast cancer or have passed from breast cancer, to bring a flower. The city will show you which type of flowers to bring, because some of them die after summertime or die during winter. There are flowers throughout the season that will live. You can bring it with the name of your loved one. It's going to be a little sanctuary for people sometimes to go and meditate, and certainly recognize and remember those that we have
Does
lost
it have to be
to
flowers, or it
breast
can be a
cancer.
plant as well?
We have the flowers,
No,
Dr.
it's not.
Claude. We want to make it lively. We want to make it beautiful. I mean, it's a battle, and this we have to go through it together with the city residents. That's it.
May I, Madam Mayor?
Sure.
I'd like to give direction to staff to bring a resolution before us next council meeting, not to allow the public nor the media behind the dais while we're in session.
Is that
A resolution that I would like for them to bring back.
to
before
bring it
us.
back in next council meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very
Can it
well.
be in the form of a policy, or does
However
it,
that
okay.
you think it's appropriate.
Very well. Okay. City clerk, any report?
Real brief.
Oh, by the way, all my appointees for the boards have not received their notification yet, and I would like to know when it will take place, please.
Well, we would usually, my office would usually send complimentary letters congratulating them on their appointments, and they should have already received that. That's something we've just done complimentary, just to let the individuals know. But from what I understand, we have phone numbers of the individuals, and they've been informed by phone. But we would send
Speak into the mic.
We
Yeah,
have phone
Jackie
numbers
said.
by from the appointees, and they were the ones that we were able to reach were contacted and congratulated by phone. But we will get the final address list of all of them, and we're going to make sure we get those letters out by the end of next week.
Thank you.
So I want to congratulate my staff. The 2-3 part-timers we had for the past 2 weeks has been conducting secret inspections of businesses throughout North Miami to ensure that they have their business tax receipts and their CUs. And they've done a marvelous job. We've had an influx of business owners throughout the city of North Miami coming in and getting up to date. And I want to thank the staff. They do a remarkable job, the city clerk staff, in conjunction with the CU and code enforcement. And the second thing is something that my neighbor requested. Last time I didn't bring it up. She gave me a hard time. After the council meeting last meeting, she came and knocked on the door and demanded that I bring it up this time. Apparently, to a certain extent, there is kind of like a wild dog infestation in certain parts of North Miami. I already discussed it with the chief of police, and they're already on top of it. Apparently, whenever she walks her dog, there's a couple of other dogs that's just roaming the streets, and they're attacking her and her dogs. I've seen that one time. I literally had to get out my car to help a lady with her small dog. I'm very confident that the chief of police is on it. We discussed it. Since we discussed it, the two regular mid-sized pit bulls that used to be around the church on 136th Street, 10th Avenue, they've been gone. So I want to congratulate the police department for such great job. But just to kind of let her know, I brought it to the council's attention. The city manager and the chief of police is on top of it, and I know they're going to do all they can to ensure that we're safe. And that'll be it. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney.
No report.
No report, City Manager.
As requested, regarding any environmental issues at Biscayne Boulevard, first of all, let me say that
Talking about Biscayne Landing or
I'm sorry,
Boulevard?
Biscayne
Why not
Landing.
we put it
Let me
down?
say that the report that we're preparing as a result of the soil that was out there, we will be having that on the next council agenda. This would be at the report that you all directed us to provide regarding the soil that Durham had originally got approval through the EQCB board. Also, as a result of that meeting, I've made the decision to bring all matters to your attention, no matter the severity of them, no matter how severe they are regarding the Biscayne Landing site. So I want to apologize that if no matters were brought to you before, but henceforth, moving forward, all matters will be brought to you, no matter how small or minute they may be. As such, on August the 29th, I did provide to you in your package, there was a leak at, a small leak was determined at the injection well. They did do some repairs. However, on September the 3rd, it was discovered that approximately 807,000 gallons of groundwater from the injection well spilled onto the ground. We immediately contacted the environmental agencies to let them know what had taken place according to protocol. However, they immediately determined that there was no threat. The system had then since been repaired, and I do not have all of their reports from the environmental agencies, but they will be forthcoming. So the bottom line is that there was no impact to the environment or to the wetlands, and since that date, the injection well has been modified to prevent that leak in the future. And that's my report.
Thank you. Do we have a motion
Oh,
to adjourn?
Just
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just
You had
a
a
couple
question?
other things. I'm sorry. We are live streaming tonight. It is in test mode. So once we get it up and going and determine if there was any issues, we would do that. And I'd like to congratulate.
Now you telling us?
Well,
After all that charade?
Channel-
You would have put the
Seriously?
makeup on. Come on.
Come on, Scott, you did it
More
again.
people-
You were alive, man.
Yeah, he did it.
no, I had a question on it. I applaud you for, Mr. Manager, through the mayor to you. I applaud you for now bringing to us any item, no matter how small. Though the environmentalists I've spoken to, I call them environmentalists. It's like me calling myself a football player because I watch it. I don't have a degree, neither do they. But
Who is that?
I'm not going to name names. I'm very, very concerned about Biscayne Landing's health and future. We need to do a whole lot better of a job of watching what's going on out there. We need to not allow Dirty Phil to come in and sit there for 6 months before council is aware. We need to not have a spill, no matter how minor it is, and right now I'm taking everybody's word for it that it's minor, but we need to not have a spill come to us several weeks after the fact as well. I like I said, I applaud you for now deciding to bring to us anything as minor as it might be, but we just need to be a whole lot more diligent out there at Biscayne Landing, because if for some reason the project even gets the reputation that it's tainted again. We'll have people who don't want to come anymore to the site, who don't want to open businesses on the site, who don't want to live on the site, and we spent 30 years living that reputation down. So to CH Toom Hill, who's in the room tonight, to staff, to anybody else who's directly involved, please, let's really be on top of our game out at Biscayne Landing. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
You said, excuse me, Madam Mayor, you said in 2 weeks you're going to bring a complete report about Biscayne Landing,
No,
including this one,
no,
this
this
item,
one,
including
this one
the-
is resolved. I'm just waiting for
So it's
any
not
report
resolved.
that the old record.
City
You
manager.
say it's not done yet.
It's not resolved because you don't have all the reports.
Yeah, I
yet.
don't have all the
Yeah, it's a
reports.
complete report about
Sure,
this
sure,
and
yes.
about the
And
other environmental.
yes, that's
And
correct.
let's have a real discussion about Biscayne Landing in 2 weeks.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. If
Okay.
there's a motion to
And,
adjourn, if anyone else,
and
So moved.
Councilwoman Steril and minutes ago thanked me for what I'm doing in my district, and I want to thank her also for what she done in District 4. And I have to thank staff, especially Park and Recreation, and they're doing a good job on maintaining Claude Paper Park and Joe Celestine Center. And I just need one thing from you guys. If you can put on Claude Pepper Park, pets are not allowed, because I see people.
That's my district. Can you allow me to do the job?
But
man?
you allow
What is
dogs to come up and
That
poo
was
on
supposed
the
to be my
grass.
next- my item for next week.
Oh, okay, okay,
not
and
true.
I
I'm
understand
just
that. And now I want to also thank the city manager. We have a great city manager, and without him, without the city attorney, and without public works, and without all the other departments, I won't have that thank you tonight. Again, thank you, staff. Thank you, city
Is
manager.
that a living speech? What was that?
do we have a motion to adjourn?
No, that's too early. Where are we going?
Second. All in favor? Okay. Good night, everyone.
What for what?